while back, I did a tutorial on exactly step by step how to remove Milia, and I did everything fantastic, but as I was doing the procedure, I got off the side of the camera so people could not see exactly what I did. So today I will go through exactly what to do. So let's get started right now. So very quickly, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Maria from Vancouver, Canada, and I want to thank my subscribers for being there, supporting me, asking me questions. Amazing. Thank you so much. You are the soul of my channel. For the people that do not know me, well, hopefully you will enjoy my content and my tutorials and you decide to subscribe to this channel. I do tutorials every week on different issues, products, skincare, diseases, whatever you are asking me. If you have any challenges with your skin, do send me on Instagram your picture and tell me what is the problem, and I will reply to you because you are very important to me. The difference between Milia and Syringoma, and I do have a tutorial that explains that more in detail. Milia and Syringoma, they both somehow happen around the eyes, even though you will see Syringoma throughout the body, but throughout the body is not as visual. But when it comes around the eyes, I have a lot of individuals that plead me what to do. Syringoma is something to do with your sudoriferous glands, and it takes time and patience to take care of it. And if you sweat a lot, you might get these little growths, inflammation. And do look at that tutorial because I will explain more in detail. The Milia, on the other hand, is much easier to deal with. You just need to have a sharp lancet to remove the Milia, which is something keratinized underneath the skin. So another question that a lot of individuals ask me, but Maria, what is the difference between a Milia and a Comedone? A Comedone is, and I have a picture here, I believe in pictures. So if you look at this is a Comedone and it's black, and the sebum itself is oxidized. The Milia itself, however, has like a layer of skin on top and it does not get oxidized. We're going to talk more about the Milia more because this is about the Milia. But just quickly, these are blackheads. How do I take care of them? Is by doing little things like maybe glycolics. And one of my favorite products is the BHAs, like this one here, and I have a link below. Steam your skin, and I have a really cute little steamer down there that you steam your skin. However, you can even use hot packs. Use a spin brush because the spin brush keeps the pores nice and clean. And then I don't really advise to kind of squeeze it yourself, but if you do use these steps, it will minimize. And I do have a tutorial on how to take care of blackheads so they don't get larger. But I do advise also to go maybe every 6 weeks to an esthetician, and please that this esthetician knows how to remove comedones because it is a little technique to be able to remove them. Then when you start getting regular facials and you do these treatments at home, you will have always nice clean skin. But these comedones, they do need to get treated, otherwise they do get darker and larger, and once they get to this size, it's very hard to get the pores tightened again. So there is a lot of confusion about Milia, Whiteheads, and fungal acne because they look similar, but they're totally different. The reasoning behind in getting these different things is quite different. And again, I do have a tutorial that it will explain in detail about the difference between Whiteheads, Milia, and fungal acne. Now you might say, okay, how do I remove these? Okay, there is a preventive thing, which I'm going to talk about in a second. But if you have like tons, like let's say you have lots of these, please do not remove them all. You might want to take this one out, or that one out, or that one out, just maybe one or two on each side of your eyes. How do you remove it? These Milias like this, you will need to use, and they are like this. Okay, I don't like it if you can see them like that. And they're sharper than a needle. But if you cannot get these ones here, just use a needle. So you can see here. Okay, so I took off the cap, and this part here is very sharp. And how deep do you go? Okay, so let's say if we have the skin, okay, like that. You should somewhat, you see how I pull the skin like this? If I go to the surface of my skin, see how I'm pulling like this? It doesn't hurt. See that? And so you're making a little incision right across the belly. These little lancets, once you're finished with them, you put the cap back on like that, and you put them in a sharp container. Before you do any kind of cutting, and again, as you saw the way I did it here, you're not going deep down where the blood is, you're just making a little incision. But before you make any incision on the skin, you do want to disinfect your hands, and if you want to put gloves, you can, but you're working on yourself. Gloves is more when you do on somebody else. These tutorials are more for professionals, but I know that if you have a little Milia, you will want to deal with it yourself. So you want to also disinfect the area, and even if you use a little bit of alcohol, that is fine. So you disinfect the area with alcohol. You do want to disinfect your hands, you want to disinfect your little lancet, and then you make the incision. After you make the incision, you want to put your fingers side by side, and you cover of course your fingers with cotton or Kleenex, and then gently you want to squeeze it out. You want to squeeze the thing totally out. So you might have several Milia around the eyes, which could be something like this. And there's a reason why you're getting these, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. And if you do not take care of them, they might get larger, something like this. Or you just have maybe only one, like this. So what we have, it's something stuck underneath, it's clogged. So how are we able to take care of this? You see the skin above here? That's what we want to open up. You do not go too deep into the skin. So I have a diagram now here that I drew. Okay, so I think you can see that. Okay. What you see here in this area here is the epidermis and then the dermis. In the epidermis, we do not have any blood. However, in the dermis, we do. We want to make a little incision right across the belly of the Milia. And I have a picture here that I've done a tutorial before. And do you see the little incision right here? Okay, it's right across the belly. That's it. That's the only thing you want to do. So when you go here, you see where it's raised? That's where you want to do the little incision. So if you start chopping away and you're going deeper, that's when you start getting some bleeding, and that's where you don't want to go. Now, if the Milia is deeper, so let's see here, let's get this one here again. So let's say the Milia is a little bit on the lower side right in here, and you can somewhat see it, but you don't feel it. You see it, but you don't feel it. Then you will need to massage the area so that the Milia can come up on the surface. So that might take some time. But if you start making holes all over the place, you're actually causing more problem. Now, if you're getting one, there's no problem, just take it out, done. But if you have a tendency to get several of them like this, there must be a reason. And you might maybe using products that are too rich for your skin type, or maybe you're using products that are very dehydrating. So I do have a tutorial that will explain the preventive part, so you don't get more of these little milias. And so if you start using, oh yes, this one here, let me get it. So what I advise, some preventive things, and in my tutorial it does explain. Gently, you want to use this with a mild cleanser. If your cleanser, after you use it, it gives your skin really, really tight, it means it's dehydrating your surface of your skin. So that is something that you don't want to use. So a mild cleanser, and then you can use the spin brush. It will slough off or remove the dead skin. All the things that I talk about, if you are interested, you can go down below. I have several links of a steamer, spin brush. So good things that they're good value and they still have, and you see results. Also, if you're getting this clogging, you might want to use some HAs and BHAs. But then again, you have to be very careful not to overuse these acids, because if you overuse these acids, you're making the skin lazy. The purpose of these acids is to give a little bit of a kickoff, so you help to desquamate and remove the dead skin. So a very quick summary. You have these milia, now you know what to do. So the first thing I will advise you is to wash your face with a mild cleanser. And then if you don't have a little steamer, which I do have a tutorial on that, steaming is very, very good for your skin. Then just use hot compresses in the area, because what you're doing, you're softening the skin. And then after that, after you've done that, either steaming or hot compresses for, let's say, 5 to 10 minutes, then what you want to do, disinfect your hands, you use your lancet I showed you before, and you make a little incision. And the incision, you're not going deep, you're just going on the surface to do a little opening. Then you get your fingers with maybe a little bit of a Kleenex. Don't use your fingers, just put a Kleenex around it, and then you go right to the area and you squeeze the little pearl out. And then you can get a Q-tip with a little bit of alcohol and disinfect the area. It might sting a little bit, but you want to disinfect the area. If you have many like these, okay, then don't do them all. Okay, just maybe do 2 or 3 on each side, and then wait a couple of days so there's a little bit of healing. And between all this, maybe you can use the HAs or maybe the spin brush to keep the area clean. Now, another thing that I advise is that you might want to massage the area. Why? And to bring blood circulation to that area. Because what you're doing by bringing the blood circulation in that area, the body might reabsorb some of those milia, so you don't have to cut them all up. Well, I hope you enjoyed this short little tutorial, and if you have any questions, do not hesitate in leaving me a message below here, or send me a message on Instagram, and I personally will reply to you. Again, this is Maria, and I'll talk with you very, very soon. Take care.